On. Hey, everybody, welcome back to yet another edition of the RnRGzrs Show. I'm your host, Murph, and of course, if you can, subscribe and like some videos and comment and get crazy and all that good stuff. And of course, joining me on the journey is he's not all about silver and gold. Silver and gold. He's the man on the silver mountain. That would be my co-host.
There you go.
Doc Vox. What's shaking, Doc?
Yeah, little rainbow there, little James
yeah.
Dio era. Yeah, hell yeah.
Good
stuff.
No,
Yeah,
go for it.
Nas, welcome and greetings to rock and roll fans to the Rock and Roll Geezer Show. If you've been here before and subscribed, thank you so much. And if this is your first time, what we do is bring you the rock and roll news every week. So, with interesting items throughout the week that crazy rock stars are up to, and give some views, concert reviews, what we're up to, stuff like that. So, yeah, without much further ado, let's just jump into it.
Yeah, how about it? And of course, our favorite buddies. Let me give the background. Ooh, some stormy clouds on the background. Of course, our continuing saga with Motley Crue. It just keeps getting more and more salacious as we go on. And the latest thing, of course, is that Motley Crue has entered the studio, and they're going to be putting out new music. And the headline in that situation is that they're going to be missing their guitarist Mick Mars, because although they said when he backed out of the concert touring that he was still going to be a part of Motley Crue and doing the recordings and whatnot, that was all a sham. And they got, of course, John Five in there in the studio working the new music, and there's all sorts of interesting things. I got to throw this one at you before I lose it, Doc. About let me see, where is it? There's so much going on. Okay, first off, let's talk about Carmen Appice. They actually threw a cease and desist on him. If you recall, we were talking about how he was him and Mick Mars are buddies, and they were talking, and Mick was saying how most of the stuff was pre-recorded that we were playing on last year's tour, and he mentioned that on the social media, and they've actually sent him a cease and desist.
Well, what's the point? Quite honestly, I mean, everybody knows. I mean, it's not, the cat's out of the bag. It's not like, you saying anything people don't know. I mean, other than they just don't want to hear it from him, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it says, he got a great response from people through their comments, and a lot of people are behind me. So it's all good, he continued. That said, I did get a cease and desist letter from all these lawyers who work for Motley Crue. So I can't go into that in too much detail. I have to be careful what I say. But then again, we're really not talking about details. It's just a generalized, we're just talking about what happened, a conversation between two guys. Holy cow, that's sort of thin skin there, if you ask me, my man. Jeez, that is crazy.
Yeah, as far as Mick not being in the studio, it's kind of a game of semantics, because if you really look into it, the statements given at the time, Mick Mars' statement was just retiring from the road, still part of the band, still doing studio stuff.
Yeah.
Motley Crue never said that. Motley Crue just Mick's retiring. That's their statement was just Mick's retiring. So I got to think too. John Five's probably sparked some creativity in that group,
with his talent,
yeah. I got to think, I don't think that at the time that they broke up, I don't think they'd intended on doing an album this soon, but probably we're getting John Five in there and just got the juices flowing, and hey, let's make an album. So, it'll be interesting to see how they end up doing Vince's vocals, if they got some auto tune going on there. So I don't know.
I've got more. I've got more to talk about that there, Doc. Let me see. Maybe whip it up here. First off, Nikki Sixx alleges Mick Mars is, quote, a bit confused and being misled by his representatives. So, the back and forth will continue. But here we go. This is the one that really blows my mind. They're in the studio, right? They're in the studio with Bob Rock, apparently a hotshot producer, right? I guess.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bob Rock, sure. He produced a lot of stuff. Metallica's Black Album, a lot of stuff, yeah.
Well, here, let me see now. Motley Crue studio album, blah, 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 blah. Styx hired producer Bob Rock for his ability to play bass in the studio. Or
Right.
Six hired. It says here, as a, quote, ghost bassist for the Crew, Rock was the obvious choice to play the bass parts, as Six was not skilled enough to do so himself. Even Kevin DuBrow, the late Quiet Riot singer, stated before his death that Six was not capable of playing the bass well enough to perform on a Crew studio album. Six knew he needed Rock to pull double duty secretly. Holy cow. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Six must be doing all his parts live in concert now, even though he's got to have some guy secretly do the bass parts that he can't play in concert.
So how's he going to play?
Well, how's he going to play him live? What do you think? He's going to be playing to a tape. That's crazy. He must really be a
not a stranger to that. I think he played some bass on Metallica's Black Album too. He's not a stranger to doing that. But
wow.
Yeah. And remember a while back, we mentioned on it where Nikki Sixx had said he was the most underrated bass player. Remember that? Oh my God, this guy's so full of shit.
Really, that's stunning. No, if you can't play it in the studio, then don't play it. If you need somebody else to play the part, then maybe he should be the bass player.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's not back in the '60s with the Wrecking Crew, you know.
That's incredible.
Bands play their own songs now, and
that's mind blowing. That's just mind blowing. But fast fact. Here we go. On this day in 1981, they played their first gig, their live debut at the Starwood in West Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And not surprisingly, despite their impressive performance in support of Y&T, there you go. They were opening for Y&T. The show proved to be rather violent and raucous affair. Nikki Sixx smashed his bass into the face of a belligerent Y&T fan. Tommy Lee nailed the guy with a drumstick. Vince Neil punched another audience member in the head. And Mick Mars perfected his signature move of simply keeping his head down and shredding his ass off.
Right.
There you go.
They've been that way from the get-go, yeah.
Man, oh man. So 81. Wow. Was that 41 years ago?
42 now.
42 years ago. Jeez. Wow. That is just crazy. But just the fact that they're going to have a Bob Rock doing his bass parts. What? Wait a minute. What am I missing? Yeah, but what's he going to do live then? He's going to have to play to a tape and just, with his makeup and his wild hair and all that, and just look like a rock star,
he'll do the poses.
Gosh, poser. That seems to be a poser.
Exactly. That seems to be the definition of it, man, right there.
Holy cow. That's something. That's really, it figures. Motley Crue, jeez. That's becoming a joke. We'll see how the new music is, but like you say, and like I said, let me get to real on Vince Neil's singing. If he goes and starts singing high again out of his range in these new songs, then he's a freaking moron. Because really, that just blows my mind so much, because he won't be able to sing them on stage.
Yeah, I think they got to know their limit. Well, I was just about to say you would think they would know their limitations by now, but apparently Nikki doesn't.
Well, the backup singers had tracks too. The backup singers, the chicks, they had tracks in last tour. Everybody's got tracks. Here we got Sammy Hagar saying David Lee Roth sang so bad last time he was doing shows, it was embarrassing. I mean, and all these guys can't sing anymore. I keep saying you need to follow what the crooners do. The crooners of old who never sang out of their range. Jim Morrison would be one of them, for instance. For instance. Why did you take the Jack of Hearts away? It was the only card in the deck that I had left to play. Now, you know darn well that thank you, whatever. Jim Morrison, Hyacinth House. You know darn well if he was still alive, he'd be able to sing that because the vocals are just perfect. But although, if he was still alive, would he be human or a lizard? I don't know. What do you think?
He's the Lizard King.
He's a Lizard King, so yeah, good chance of him being a lizard in the end. So boy, oh boy. But yeah, Vince, if he sings all this high crap and then comes out live doing the new music. He can't hit the notes.
He's setting himself up for failure. Yeah.
What the hell? God, that's amazing.
And it'll be interesting to see how the album goes over. I'm sure a lot of people are curious just to see how John 5 is going to fit in with them, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
What a mess.
I don't know. We will see. More to come.
What a mess. Yeah, Soundgarden, of course, Chris Cornell, the singer of Soundgarden, passed a few years back, and Soundgarden and his wife Vicky, they've been going at each other for a while here. She complaining that because they've got music they can put out, they've got the music that hasn't been released yet, and she says she's been basically underpaid or underrepresented in that situation. So it's been held up for however long he's been dead. So
it's a couple years now, at least.
So it looks like they sort of may have come to terms, huh?
Yeah, so she sued for the rights, claiming she was owed hundreds of thousands in royalties, and judge ruled in her favor. Said they were withholding royalties from her. So they settled, no, undisclosed, as these things usually are.
Sure.
But and then she had a separate case, and I'm not exactly what what she would file this under, but said she was ludicrously, that's hard to say, ludicrously low offer to buy out her part of the band. So she filed a case on that. But all of that now is all done. They've reached an amicable agreement out of court, and they got new music to put out. I can't wait, man. I love me some Chris Cornell, man. Soundgarden, I just listened to Super Unknown the other day.
Bad Motorfinger. I got them both. Super Unknown and Bad Motorfinger. Yeah. Great albums. Oh, there's just such interesting, out of the ordinary guitar work and song structure. That's what really made them great. Is you didn't have just normal chords and
for the vocals, So you got the two of that pairing up, man. I think Chris Cornell is just, he can do anything he wants, man. He's like a Neil Peart with vocals, man. He's gymnastics, man. He's unbelievable. And, I saw him once, not with Soundgarden. I saw him Pearl Jam 20 Festival. They had their 20th anniversary. It was a whole weekend concert up at Alpine, and he came out. So obviously Pearl Jam with Chris Cornell is Temple of the Dog, and they did some Temple of the Dog. That was really cool. So
very cool.
Yeah, man. Really sad when he decided to leave us, but at least we got some new music coming up. So
and they made a joint statement that they've reached an amicable out of court resolution and added. The reconciliation marks a new partnership between the two parties, which will allow Soundgarden fans around the world to hear the final songs that the band and Chris were working on. That's a big deal there. These two parties are united and coming together to propel, honor, and build upon Soundgarden's incredible legacy, as well as Chris's indelible mark on music history. Yeah, as one of the greatest songwriters and vocalists of all time. Boom! So that's great, Doc. Yeah, new music coming out from them. That's going to be just fabulous.
Yeah, can't wait.
Absolutely. Man, they're so good. They're so good. Well, we've been talking about AI. It's bad news. AI's taking over everything. And in just this week, there was some AI song came out that was a couple of rappers. But it wasn't really them
Drake
or something.
And The Weeknd, yeah. That one came out. I don't know too much of it other than that, but they put their AI vocals on a record, and it's being listened to, man. It's being sold. I'm not sure if it's being sold, but it's being listened to.
So my favorite horrible brother, the Oasis guys. Boy, they what happened there, Doc? Talk to me.
So a band is put out. It's called the AISIS, the AI, and then like Oasis, AISIS, and I guess they've done a whole album. It's actual musicians, but the lyrics and vocals are AI of Liam Gallagher, man. And they got a song that's out now called "Be Here Now," and it's out there, man. It's I heard it. To me, it sounds. I don't know, the quality of it kind of sounded like a demo, maybe. Like the quality wasn't quite right there. So I don't know if that was just, I don't know what the resources this band had recording it, or, it can be done better, I guess would be the question. But
it
didn't sound all that great. But
yeah,
it's kind of scary, man. I mean, I think pop music would be over, man, pretty much. I mean,
really, this could really screw. This will screw up everything, because folks will be putting stuff out that might not even be the actual vocalist. I mean, it just
yeah.
because wow.
And there's some vocalists that are coming. Liam kind of gave this a thumbs up. He just said, "Yeah, but I sound great." He just didn't seem opposed to it. And Elon Musk's girlfriend Grimes, she's kind of said, she's not opposed to somebody using her voice. We're here. Elon's fighting against it.
Yeah, he says this is trouble. This could destroy civilization.
And she's talking about she'd be okay using it as long as they use her voice, as long as she gets royalties out of it. So
yeah, I want royalties, damn it.
Yeah. I don't know any of her music, but nonetheless.
But
yeah,
we've been talking
pop
AI.
Music is cookie cutter enough, man. I mean, it's producers. At this point, it's a producer's genre, and they're just cookie cutter and putting it out. And now they can just cut out the bringing in the new teenager and just
exactly. This is gonna destroy everything. Yeah. We won't know what's real and what's not at this point.
I mean, it'll be even more soulless than it is now. I mean,
that is unbelievable. AI, man, it's going to destroy the world. I hope I'll be here when it happens. It'd be cool. But either way, it is. It's at some point, yeah. At some point, it's going to really, definitely going to screw up the music situation in multiple ways. So, boy, oh boy. I wouldn't.
Yeah, there's a lot we've talked about. People like Peter Gabriel and others are trying to kind of get on top of it, but I don't know how you would do that. So God bless them for trying. I hope they figure something out, man.
Okay, speaking of trying to figure something out, I don't get this, man. I don't get this at all. There's a Head Cleaner, right? Anybody out there remember them? The worst band ever.
Yeah, Head Cleaner. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, both sides were just horrible. Yeah, but apparently cassette tape sales are at a 20-year high, and I don't get that at all.
I don't get it. Yeah, this is over in the UK, and this is from the British phonographic industry, and sales have increased steadily each year over the past 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
We're in 2012, and this is just in the UK. They had 3,823 units sold, cassettes.
Wow.
And now in 2022, 195,000.
Wow.
So, it's got to seem just like a nostalgic thing to me, I guess. It can't be a quality thing.
That's crazy.
Once vinyl took off, maybe people got that taste for that nostalgia and started getting cassettes too. But I see the vinyl being much more sustainable than the cassette thing. I think this is going to be a short-lived thing. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's steadily been increasing over 10 years. So, I mean,
got to keep a pencil with you too. Got to keep a pencil with you. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Right. When I bought my I bought a classic car, a 67 purple Dodge Coronet convertible, and it's been in storage in a collection, and it's got an underdash cassette player in it.
Right.
So I may have to leave. I was going to yank it out and put in some new electronics, but I may have to keep it now that cassettes aren't coming back, and maybe, it may jack up the price of the classic even a little more.
Yeah. No, I can't see many cars still having a cassette player or having
it's
one
horrifying.
Put
in, yeah. Oh, what was the classic? The Pioneer. What was that? The Pioneer Classic back in the day. Oh, geez. This is gonna drive me nuts, man. Okay, that's gonna drive me insane. I'll have to think about it.
You have to get on the Google machine.
Oh, see, now I'm gonna be bugged for the rest of the show now, trying to figure out the name.
We'll take a break later. You can get out the Google machine.
Oh, I have to. Okay. But so cassettes coming back. I've still got a bunch of them. I've got
Do you really?
a small tote with cassettes on. Oh yeah, that was a big thing back then. I had my albums. I record albums and borrow albums. And
make your mixtapes,
absolutely
your songs off your albums. And stuff.
That's right, my brother. That's right.
Just remind people. This is on the heels of last year. Vinyl outsold CDs for the first time. So, like I said, there's, but as we said at the time, though, as we know, vinyl, a record costs about twice as much as a CD, too.
At the same time.
It was in dollars, not units. So.
I like CDs, though, because at one time I was eating some food and I didn't, I needed to slice up some bread, and I didn't have a utensil, but I used Brian Adams' "Cut Like a Knife" CD, and it worked perfect. Cut like a knife. Yeah, that was terrible. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
I
Here we go.
you were going there.
Here we go. Yeah, that really sucked. But nonetheless, we move on. Speaking of weird, here we go. Bruce Springsteen. Well, Bruce Springsteen, the Brucer, man, he's been getting all sorts of awards and stuff from the government and whatnot. Which he, being a songwriter and whatnot, of course. But New Jersey, they're not stopping there on his birthday. They're making it Bruce Springsteen Day.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So I don't know if they're going to be like closing the post office or anything, or
maybe a parade
out of school or something.
I would have a parade now. Pardon me, but I'd have a parade at the beginning of the parade. Would be a German six-wheeler and little Steven on top, dressed as Hitler, throwing out the Hitler sign. No, I know, but he wants half of the country exterminated. So
I know.
I just had to throw it in there. But Governor...
but that's little Steven. That's not Bruce.
He won't be there. Yeah, he got things to do that day. He's getting Bruce hamburgers or something. But he confirmed that the governor, Phil Murphy, confirmed that Bruce Springsteen Day will be held on September 23rd. At the inaugural American Music Honors, which were held at the Bruce Springsteen Archives and Center for American Music last night. Woo, that's a heck of a thing to say.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they haven't done this already, for crying out loud.
Well, they have a whole, a day like every. I'm certain this is not just one day. This is
like their favorite son,
right? It's going to be every year. It's going to be on his birthday, is Bruce Springsteen Day. So,
boy, that is
like kids,
Well,
stop at some time in school and sing "Born to Run" or something. I don't know what they're going to do to celebrate. No, he's received a lot of honors. He's gotten the Kennedy honors.
I listened to two of his songs today, as a matter of fact. I listened to "The Rising," which is stunning song, and that one about the carnival ride, "A Tunnel of Love." Ooh, God, I love them songs. Jeez.
That's an underrated album. That's a really good album.
Man, oh man.
He also, I didn't know he also received the Presidential Medal of Honor, which that's like the highest
civilian
honor you can get. Yeah. And so
I saw the list of folks who got it, and he belongs there, but I that's a questionable list, but nonetheless, all rich people, patting each other on the back,
Yeah, when he's kind of donated. He's done tons and tons of charity work and donated and bought buildings and who knows probably hospitals. I don't know.
Sure.
But he was Music Cares Person of the Year one year. So there's probably a little bit of you do this.
You can't complain anybody. It's fine to be rich. I don't mind people being. I'm more than happy people are rich. But donate, do good with it, for crying out loud. Don't just go around flaunting your wealth. Put it to action and help those who need it. Jeez. So as long as everybody's doing that, I'm good.
We said it's September 23rd, right? He's on his birthday, September 23rd. Yeah.
Okay, here's something I really don't get, man. I don't know. System of a Down.
These wacky kids.
System of a Down. Well, I've never liked their song structure. The vocalist drives me insane. If I never have to hear them again, it'll be a glorious day in my world. But that song of theirs, Chop Suey, which I just totally annoying. It's reached one of the pinnacles of music and music videos and whatnot, and it has surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. And I imagine it's a bunch on YouTube, a bunch everywhere else.
It's actually it surpassed 1 billion views on YouTube a couple years back.
Yeah, wow. I don't get well, whatever. Like you say, those wacky kids.
I pretty much would agree with you, but here recently, I don't know, for whatever reason, something switched, but I kind of get them, man. I kind of dug them, man. I was kind of getting into them, so they're on my list to get. I actually don't have any System of a Down back here, but. They are on my short list, but
Now what are they?
They're apart right now.
They're Ukrainian, right?
Armenian.
Armenian. Okay.
Yeah, they're Armenian, And right now they're split up, and they're having the typical creative differences kind of thing. But the guitar player, I don't know, I'm pronounce it Darren Malakian, and the singer Serge Tankian.
Serge.
They're at odds. And I guess to get back together, the guitarist wants to have total creative control and to be the only one that speaks to the media.
Oh my gosh!
Serge is kind of like, well, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be hearing anything new from them anytime soon. But
boo! Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah, they played
boo.
Riot Fest one year, but it was the same time as Iggy. So sorry, guys. I'm going to see
for
Iggy,
sure.
man, so.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely. So, System of a Down, 1 billion streams. I'll be darned. I want to get any money for that.
Spotify,
And they made $10. $10.
$10.
God bless them.
18 cents. Yeah.
God bless them for that profit. Yeah, it's really great. But here's what's not great. We talking about a lot of this stuff. And here's the newest headline. Anthrax, good old Anthrax, they've canceled their summer 2023 European tour dates due to logistics. Bam, there it is again, man. Logistics slamming another tour out the door. So, wow, all previous announced European.
This is again. And they just had this happen last year. And
yeah, we talked about it back then.
And forth, you'd put the note on there. Did we just talk about this? It's like, yes, it's a total repeat. It's deja vu, Groundhog Day, whatever you want to call it.
A series of logistical and scheduling issues. Yeah. So they won't be able to make it to Europe this whole summer for the festivals. And they're playing festivals. That's even better. That is so crazy. We were set to perform. Really disappointed about this, and we want you to know that a solid and overdue European tour is a priority for us. Lots of exciting things are in the pipeline, so stay tuned. That's gotta really suck. Jeez.
But that's what they said last year. I mean, quite honestly.
So what's going on? Is it crowd, or are they not wanted there, or what?
No. It's just the logistics. It's just the touring is just so expensive over there, and just getting tour buses and just all that.
And I imagine,
exactly
like in America, you get one visa and you can hit 50 states, boom, without having to go. Over there, you got to get a visa for every different country you go into.
Yeah, good
and
point.
Their countries, theirs are basically like states. So, that'd be a pain in the royal ass.
Last year it was they had an actual tour. It was their tour that they had to cancel. This time it was just a bunch of festivals they were hitting. They were hitting a walk in open air, one called Metal Days, one called Brutal Assault, and one the Alcatraz Festival. So
Alcatraz. So what a
you
bummer.
would think with the festivals that would ease up on the logistical part of it. They're sponsors that have taken care of the financial part and that kind of thing. So
wow, that is correct.
I don't know. Maybe they got bad management too, man. I mean, they're canceling a lot of stuff now. This is 2 years in a row. Maybe their tour managers.
Well, you gotta know people are thirsty for it. Jeez, like them and the South American crowds are out of their mind. As a matter of fact, on Access TV last night they played a 3-hour long AC/DC tribute or AC/DC concert down in South America somewhere. I'm not even sure where, but totally stacked, 100,000 people in the stadium. Just a totally insane. The whole concert, the crowd's going to. I mean, those South American crowds are.
I love watching those crowds, man. Yeah, they go nuts, man. You can just see the waves in the crowd. People jumping and going nuts.
Oh my gosh, singing all the songs. I saw another video today. What was it? Deep Purple. I saw a video today of Deep Purple recently, and they came out and from the back of the stage, pointing out to the crowd, huge crowd, and they were doing Highway Star, and you could hear the crowd singing the words more than the actual. Yeah, they were singing so loud that it's just See, people are they're starving for music, so I don't understand why Anthrax is having these issues. When so many other bands don't. When they do European tours.
Bad management or something, huh? Yeah, who knows? So.
Boy, tours all over the place, though, eh? Jeez, this surprises me, actually, I must say. Well, let me see if I can't find it here. Aerosmith gonna be going out on tour, possibly. Where are they?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week, where Joe Perry was being interviewed. and he kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. But it hasn't been officially the unofficial official announcement, I guess, has been
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
But they're
yeah.
going to be on Howard Stern coming up here in the next couple weeks or so, and they'll make their official announcement. So it's a
40 dates.
40-day tour. Joey Kramer will not be joining them.
Correct.
Yeah, sadly. So he wasn't expected to, but it's been kind of, that's been kind of the unofficial announcement as well. So,
yeah.
So
50 years
the tech John Douglas will be standing in for him.
50 years of drummer. I mean, that takes it, that's a brutal beating on a body. Let's face it. Geez. So, we'll see what happens. So, geez, I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. They're so old at this point, and I don't know. As long as they do all early stuff and stop with those. If they was to do all early stuff, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Instead of all this sappy crap they've done in later on in their career, because their early stuff, was up to like Rocks.
Yeah, I saw them mid-'80s, 86. That was a good time to see them, actually. They were kind of getting into the, I was on a permanent vacation tour, so they kind of had those kind of resurgent hits, I guess, that period. But, still playing a lot of the old stuff, man. I love the old stuff.
Yeah, Aerosmith. And, of course, they're not the only ones going on tour. We've got Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, there you go. They're announcing their first non-festival 2023 North American tour dates. Now, there's not a bunch of them, though. I hope there's only 4 shows listed.
Yeah.
I imagine they're going to expand, and if they would be so kind to expand right on down to Tinley Park, Illinois, if you would, that'd be really cool.
Right now it's just they got the 3 Canadian dates, and those are prior to the Power Trip Festival, the big one that's doing in California. So, I gotta think some U.S. dates are expected to come up. So
we're all thirsty for it. Yeah, I saw them. I saw them at an Ozfest before Sharon pulled the plug. So I saw one of the earlier dates.
Saw him.
But that was a smoking good time. So
that tour I remember. Okay, yeah, right, that's right.
Yeah. So that was very cool. And here's something. Pearl Jam. Wow, Pearl Jam announces U.S. tour dates with all-in ticket pricing. So they're gonna try and buck the system also and see how it works. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting. They're calling it the all-in pricing, where basically what you say the ticket is, there's no additional fees added on. It's all in that price. So if it's a $150 ticket, you're paying $150. You're not paying, $190 plus or $200 plus or whatever.
All these extra fees padded on.
They're also doing the non-transferable thing that Robert Smith of the Cure started. So these veterans jumping on, the boys of Pearl Jam are jumping on too. So it's good to see that's catching on.
Well,
if
I recall, didn't they do this like a decade ago or quite a while ago?
Yeah, they had some issues with Ticketmaster. Yeah, it's been probably about a decade ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is not their first go around with Ticketmaster, that's for sure. But one thing I thought was interesting, the non-transferable thing, they can do that everywhere except Chicago. Illinois laws, you can't prohibits doing the non-transferable thing.
That figures.
That's I know, dude. I thought that was very interesting. So
that totally figures.
It totally figures, man. But yeah,
Illinois. I noticed a lot of groups bypassing Illinois on their tours this year. Not a lot, but there's a few major ones that are bypassing their tours. But
yeah, you do see that sometimes.
What do you do when it's Illinois? So it is what it is. But I hope they do somehow find a way to make their way around to Tinley Park. So let's hope for some of the tours coming around. All right, and moving on. We've got an update to our concert schedule here, which is very exciting. Man. Got another one. This one's a very odd one, though, but at the same time, I'm very excited about it. That would be none other than Boy George. Boy George coming to Tinley Park and supporting him, opening for the night will be Berlin with who
Right.
else? Who?
Howard Jones.
No, who's Berlin's singer?
Oh, Terry Nunn. Yeah, Terry
Ooh,
Nunn.
Terry Nunn. That'll be
Yeah.
worth the concert right there just to see Terry Nunn. Ooh.
Yeah, Terry Nunn in Berlin, and
Yes.
they had the
Yeah,
they
Howard
had the song
Jones.
on the Top Gun soundtrack, right? When they had their big hit, "Take Your Breath Away."
Right,
And
right.
Howard Jones, yeah, he had
Oh,
quite a few
Howard
hits.
Jones. Back in
Quite a
the
few hits.
back in the electronic 80s on MTV, Howard Jones was a big deal. I love that era. So I'm really, really excited about this concert. So yeah, we got Berlin opening tonight, and then Howard Jones, and then Boy George. So
Boy
that's gonna
George.
be a really a dive back into the 80s. I can't wait, man. I
Yeah,
can't
I'm sure that's
wait.
gonna be a well put together
Oh.
show. So, people, if you don't know, watching the show, we have our concert season pass for Tinley Park, the local venue,
Uh-huh.
Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and we did a special a while back to let everybody know what shows we got coming up, and we have 16 shows are going, and now this one's 17, and not only is this 17, this is gonna make 4 in a row.
Yeah.
This is
Boy
we
George
could
is
have placed
Thursday
this a little
night.
better. We had some weeks off there. It could have been.
Now,
placed
what
there,
is
but
the
no.
4-day stretch? We got Thursday night. We got Boy George.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
Friday,
we got Mudvayne, one of those shows, and Matchbox 20 is one of those shows.
Yeah,
And I
4 in
can't
a
remember
row.
what the other one was.
Thursday, Friday,
Now this
Saturday,
one.
and Sunday. I'm gonna try and hit all 4. I gotta dig deep, because I'm decrepit. But I'm gonna try and hit all 4, man, so I can
Yeah.
properly, report to the Rock and Roll Geezers
Yeah,
show.
if I
So-
remember right, the Matchbox 21 would be the one on Sunday. So that
Yeah.
would be, if we can make it through, and then.
oh
you know,
boy, wow! Have to find somebody
but,
to drive us
yeah,
at
Boy
that point.
George, man. I don't know. I never thought I'd go see Boy George, but
Why not, man?
Yeah, why
It'd
not?
be a really cool crowd,
All
yeah,
the rest of the crowd.
very exciting. So yeah,
Boy George is the exact opposite of George Strait.
oh yeah. Listen to you. Hey, let me see. Do I don't even have the slap anymore, or the rim shot, so I can't give you a rim shot on that. I'm sorry, man. But in any case, yeah. So all these things going on, and geez, here we go. Here's a sad situation here. Morbid Angel, who we talked about a few times recently. Their guitarist Trey Agathoth, I believe that's his name.
You got a bad lisp there, Murph?
Ezag.
I know.
Well, he collapsed on stage during a Tampa concert, and if folks remember Morbid Angel, they were just a few weeks back played up in Belvedere, Illinois, at the Apollo Theater, and a storm came through. I don't know if it was a tornado or just a big storm, but the theater collapsed.
Yeah,
and
big storm.
they lost a fan, and a bunch of folks got injured. And now here they are, collapsing on stage in Tampa, Florida, and apparently he was dehydrated. I believe he had just, not taking care of himself enough. And I feel bad for these guys. They're not playing to the biggest damn crowds,
Right.
and
what was the crowd in Belvedere? It was like 640, if I remember right.
No, 260. There were like 260
okay,
people.
Yeah, well, I won't say that much. Okay.
Yeah. So they're not. They're the troopers. So they're the freaking rock troopers. These guys.
Yeah, for sure.
They're. Jeez. God bless. I don't care. I've never listened to their music or anything. But geez, for the folks who do, these guys are your heroes. These are the troopers, man. Because
Uncle Freak will play them once in a while.
Well, they're cool.
Good.
Very cool. Yeah. And,
so yeah, the guy was kind of struggling to get to his feet even, and they decided to take a break. They took a little break and came back and did one song, and then kind of called it quits. I guess the bassist vocalist is kind of the front man, and said, we're gonna have to call it quits, guys. So these guys might want to, like you said,
they concluded.
Warriors for sure.
They concluded their tour a couple of days ago. The tour concluded, but boy, what a tragedy! What a tragedy!
Yeah, between the storm collapsing the roof and guys collapsing on stage, and
like I said, they're not making a ton of money. They're not making.
No,
they're not playing for a ton of people. but their dedication to music is obvious. It's unquestionable at this point. So to Morbid Angel, man, you guys
there were
are
there
rockers.
were 4 bands on these bills,
Yes,
right? So
yes, there was.
Yeah.
So you guys are rockers. You're the real deal. You guys ain't freaking posers like so many out there. So how about them? Good for them, man. Morbid Angel.
Yeah, they're not
Morbid
having
Angel.
Bob Rock play bass on their album. Just put it that way.
No. They're the real freaking deal. No bullshit with these cats. So out to Morbid Angel, man. Keep on going, you guys. You guys are really impressive. Really, really impressive. Speaking of another impressive guy who overcame a bunch of crap, that would be Def Leppard's Rick Allen, who obviously everybody knows has got one arm after an accident way back when. Geez, what, in the 80s?
86, I think, maybe something in there,
Yeah, but they've he's been hanging out in Florida, and I'll be darned, he come out of I believe it was a hotel to have himself a smoke, and some 19-year-old punk attacked him.
Yeah.
Freaking assaulted him. A guy with one arm. This punk ass bitch attacks him. He was attacked outside a Florida hotel.
It was a Hard Rock, right? I think it was a Hard Rock, maybe. Or they were playing the Hard Rock, maybe. Something was involved there, some kind of way in the story. I don't know. But anyway, that was like a month. I was surprised. This was like a month ago, maybe, right? We reported on this.
He must have been pretty shook up.
That's what I'm saying. And so now he's just kind of putting out on social media, letting everybody know, hey, just saying hi. And,
well, let me tell you. Yeah,
he's well, and I'll be ready for tour and all
that. He's still recovering, and he posted a photo of himself on social media saying, thank you all so very much for all your love and support. Hang on, time out. Thank you all so much, so very much for all your love and support over the last month. I'm still recovering and getting my mind and body ready for the upcoming Def Leppard tour. Just wanted to say hi and let you know there will be rock. So there you go. There's his post, man. So yeah, but that's
still been recovered here a month later, man.
Wow.
It's been a little more of a pummeling than
son of a bitch,
thought, man.
Maybe we should.
Oh yeah, he's bringing up on charges for beating up a disabled person, all this kind of. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in trouble.
He's out on bail right now, but he was
taking a smoke break outside the Four Seasons Hotel. Four Seasons. When a man ran up to him at full speed, striking him and knocking him backwards. Jeez, at our age, we can't have punks doing that to us. To brace himself or anything. Slammed his head on the ground. I mean, yeah, good. This punk, yeah, he's abusive. He's charged with abuse of elderly or disabled adult. I'd give him one of each. Why not? And he's bonded out of jail. But this is Florida, so. No, he ain't gonna be able to get away with this. Thankfully, I think their justice system will take care of him. Hang in there, Rick. Jeez. So they're getting ready to go on tour, huh? Who are they touring with? They touring with Def Leppard, right? Or
Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, right. Yeah. Jeez. Bring the tapes, boys. Don't forget the tape machines, because you're all, I don't know about Motley Crue, although every now and then I have to question their backing vocals on their live concerts, because they sound so pristine and perfect.
Def Leppard?
Yeah, Def Leppard. I'm sorry. Their backing vocals, which they use a lot of harmony, backup harmonies in their songs, and they always sound so pristine and perfect. I'm always wondering, well, really, is this really? I'm not saying they don't.
That's the one band I've never seen as well, and
they've had a concert.
I've heard people have always said, the production is top notch. So.
You gotta get access. You gotta get Sling TV, get Access TV, man, because they every now and then they'll play a Def Leppard concert, and that's where I get the notion. It's like, wait, those backup vocals are so perfect, and I know playing live, it's hard to get them so perfectly produced. But who knows? I'm not saying anything. They're probably that good.
They're all about being slickly produced. Going back to the Mutt Lange days and whatnot. So sure, when he was tricks up their sleeve.
Back when Mutt was still sleeping with Shania Twain.
Right.
Oh, gosh, Mutt. Jeez. Here's craziness. I'm not surprised about this though. With the insanity of the music world. The Hot for Teacher, good old Hot for Teacher. Love that sucker. great. I think it's the one of the great rock videos. It's got everything. It's perfect. The Hot for Teacher Van Halen, the perfect rock video. Well, that guitar, there it is right there. The old Red Frankenstein sold recently. They were figuring it.
Was it that one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, just the one he used in the video.
This is the one I looked at the video, and this is the guitar.
All right.
Yeah. So it was supposed to sell between $2 and $3 million. Oh no. It sold for $3.932 million. I'm pretty sure. Boy, this better be the guitar, doggone it, because that's what I that's what I looked up. But nonetheless, regardless, that's amazing. But it's a Kramer guitar.
Yeah, we talked about it last week that the auction was coming up, and they were expecting the minimum bid was 1.8 million, and they were expecting between 2 to 3. And here's just shy of 4. Didn't see who bought it. They didn't name who bought it.
Of course.
As we mentioned last week, it was the one that he gave to a drum tech as a retirement gift, and then he passed it on to his nephew. And then, of course, once the nephew gets, he's just selling it. He has no sentimental value. And he sold it to a place called Neil's Music, and they sold it to the person who put it up for auction. So it's kind of
been handed
down through a few folks. Now this guy's raking in, just shy of 4 million, well, minus whatever Sotheby's fees are. But yeah, from the Hot for Teacher video, man, pretty cool. There was a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff. Like, remember when they had the little kids and stuff? They had the 4 little Van Halen dudes.
Oh, that was great. Like I said, it's perfect, especially for school kids, because it had so much of that in there. All little Van Halen members going to the same classroom with, of course, the hot teachers who, in reality was, let's see, one was a Playboy bunny, and one was a model or something. They're both super hot. But it had everything. It had a hot car, and just the musicianship was just fabulous. But they interviewed one of the kids who played Michael Anthony. They interviewed him about how how it was for doing that.
Yeah,
video.
Just being on the set of the video. Yeah.
Oh, it was great. He mentions how he got his mom to let him go. Knock on the door of the band, and Alex answered, "Who are you?" "Yeah, I'm the kid who's playing Michael Anthony in the video." "No, come on in." So apparently, him and Alex, they had a beer. 13 years old, he had a beer, and he mentioned how Michael Anthony was a real nice guy, and Eddie was rather reserved, which doesn't surprise me at all. That seems like his personality, and David Lee Roth was basically didn't want anything to do with him, being a kid. "What's this kid doing here?" That sounds like David Lee Roth, quite honestly. Jeez. But
he saw that the job came up, and he's like, "Holy crap, I look just like Michael Anthony." And so he went for it, and got a call back, and they did the whole process they do, and he ended up getting the job. And he knocks on the door. Well, first Alex tells me, "Go back and get me a beer. I'll grab one for yourself." Like 13, so they're having a beer with Alex.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Cool is that?
And when they asked him, what was the real Michael Anthony like? He says, "No, he was very cool. He was just chilled, and he was kind of quiet as well. And I don't think Dave was into hanging out with some kid, but Alex was the one. He wanted to know who I was, where I was from. So Alex turned out to be the real human of them all,
now he's the recluse now.
Now he's the recluse. Yeah. What's your favorite memory of actually shooting the video? They asked him. The kid says, "The thing that stuck with me the most was the part where the teacher was dancing on the table and all the kids were looking at her legs. The director was shouting, 'Grab her legs!' I looked at my mom. 'Should I actually do that? Is that okay?' And my mom was like, 'Do your job, son.' I was so embarrassed to do that. That had to be so cool."
Right. Oh, you think about that with
man.
child actors. I'm sure they ask them to do all kinds of stuff that, like, their instincts tell them, no, I'm not supposed to do that.
Well, at least he looked at his mom to get her okay.
Right.
You know, he was at least brought up with that kind of respect. And then the last question of the interview: did you get to spend much time with Eddie? The youngster says, "Yeah, I grew the balls to ask him to play the intro to Running with the Devil, which was my favorite song. He took me to the back of the trailer, pulled out a tiny little amp, pulled out his guitar, and literally played the whole thing for me in person by myself just for me. That
Wow.
experience was epic."
Oh, yeah. How cool is that, man?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I wonder, I'm, that's only one of the kids. What about the
Right.
other three? Let's try and find out what their,
Right.
what their experiences was, because that's very
What about
cool.
the little Eddie? What about little Eddie Van Halen?
Oh, yeah, our little David. Oh, crying out
Oh,
loud,
man.
jeez. But that video was so great. It just the perfect rock video. Jiminy Creepers. Man, that was quite an era. The 80s were quite an era. That
Oh, too, if you remember, as part of the deal, they get the guitar and then they also the straight jacket and gloves, I think it was. Because remember at the end of the video when they show the updates and Edward's resting comfortably at wherever.
right,
it was,
right, yeah.
And, so that straight jacket he was.
Well, they
was
better
part of
for
the
that
deal as
kind of
well,
money,
so,
right? For that kind of money, they better. Jeez, that's right. That's raucous good money. So very cool, man. Wow, another cool. Yeah, and obviously, our good friends at Journey are minding their P's and Q's because we haven't heard a thing. So keep on rocking, Journey. You're doing well. You know the money talks and bullshit walks. So we haven't heard a darn thing. So they must obviously be finally reached the plane where they're all happy with just making money and dealing with each other. So
yeah,
good for you, Journey. I'm sure we'll hear something eventually, but for now, all is quiet on the Journey front.
indeed.
So there you go, brother. So hey, man, another good one, my man. Weather's getting better. Gonna be able to get all convertible out soon. So I'm a happy man. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. And please subscribe if you haven't already. It's sort of nice. The more subscribers we get, the more YouTube will take us seriously, and the other, obviously, platforms we're on. So do what you can to give us a hand. And Doc, thanks a lot for joining us, man. I sure appreciate it. Take us home, brother.
Yeah, another great week in rock and roll news, and we're always here to bring it to you, folks. So if you can, please subscribe. It means the world to us. And in the meantime, we'll get ready for next week, and we'll see you then. Have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.